Good morning, and welcome to Nature Walk, the podcast where we delve into the wonders of the natural world and explore the intricate relationships between our planet's ecosystems. I'm your host, David, and I'm delighted to share with you today's top story, which takes us to the shores of Ireland, where a concerning trend has been unfolding. As we take our first steps on this nature walk, let's set the scene. The rugged coastline of Ireland, with its vast expanses of sandy beaches, rocky outcrops, and winding shoreline paths. It's a place of breathtaking beauty, where the forces of nature have shaped the landscape over thousands of years. However, as we'll discover, this stunning environment is facing numerous threats, from pollution and littering to invasive species and climate change. The latest Coastwatch survey, conducted by trained volunteers, has revealed some alarming findings. Despite a decline in discarded plastic drinks bottles since the introduction of the deposit return scheme, other types of plastic rubbish are persisting or even increasing. Balloon sticks, for example, have been on the rise every year since 2020, despite being banned, and single-use plastic cutlery, also prohibited, has seen a surge in sightings. As we walk along the shoreline, we can't help but notice the impact of human activity on these delicate ecosystems. The presence of invasive species, such as Japanese wireweed and Pacific oysters, is causing significant problems for native wildlife. These non-native species outcompete indigenous organisms for food and habitat, leading to a decline in biodiversity and ecosystem resilience. But there are also glimmers of hope. The survey has shown that with effective enforcement of regulations, improvements can be achieved. The mandatory tethering of plastic bottle lids to the bottle has led to a decrease in screw-top lids littering the shoreline. And levels of nitrates, which can cause significant problems in high concentrations, have fallen for the second year in many small streams flowing into the sea. As we pause to take in the sights and sounds of the coastline, we're reminded of the importance of responsible stewardship of our natural resources. The growth of seagrass, essential for oxygenating waters and stabilizing seabeds, has recovered in some areas, thanks to increased effort and care taken by farmers and more inspections carried out. And yet, despite these successes, there are still hotspot areas that are not improving. The presence of smelly and unsightly algal growth, which kills off other plants and animals, remains a significant concern. As we continue our nature walk, we're reminded that the health of our ecosystems is intricately linked to human activity. As we stand on the shoreline, feeling the ocean breeze and listening to the waves, we're compelled to ask, what can we do to mitigate these threats and protect these precious ecosystems? The answer lies in a combination of individual actions, community engagement, and effective policy making. By working together, we can create a better future for our planet's natural wonders. We'll be right back with more fascinating stories from the natural world on Nature Walk. Welcome back to Nature Walk. I'm your host, David. As we continue our journey through the natural world, we're going to explore a pressing concern that's been making headlines in recent weeks. The Advisory Committee on Nature Restoration has expressed disappointment and frustration at the lack of funding commitment for the state's first nature restoration plan. This plan is a crucial component of the EU's Nature Restoration Law, which aims to restore 20% of the EU's land and sea areas to good health by 2030. As we delve into this story, it's essential to understand the context. The National Development Plan, a €275 billion initiative, has been criticized for sidelining nature conservation. The Advisory Committee, comprising experts from various sectors, has raised concerns about the need for committed funding, effective incentives for farmers and landowners, and enforceable targets for nature restoration. The issue of funding is a recurring theme, with the committee seeking urgent clarification from the government on this point. The €314 billion Infrastructure, Climate and Nature Fund has been largely allocated to the planning of Metrolink, a decision criticized by environmental groups and farming organizations. It's clear that there's a need for a more comprehensive approach to funding nature restoration. As we consider the challenges ahead, it's heartening to note that Minister of State Christopher O'Sullivan has announced a 20% increase in funding for the National Parks and Wildlife Service. Additionally, the state's purchase of White's Marsh at Inchydonee, Cocork, and lands at Glen of the Downs in Co-Wicklow for nature conservation and restoration is a positive step forward. However, as Mr. Step Forward, O'Sullivan acknowledged, there's an onus on the government to ensure cross-departmental awareness of the plan and to engage all sectors of society in the nature restoration effort. The draft plan, set to be published early next year, will provide an opportunity for public consultation and feedback. As we navigate the complexities of nature restoration, it's essential to recognize the importance of community involvement and awareness. the community conversations that took place around the state, where hundreds of participants shared their concerns and frustrations about habitat loss, wildlife disappearance, and pollution, highlight the need for a collective effort to protect our natural world. As we move forward, it's crucial that we prioritize nature restoration and recognize the intrinsic value of our natural ecosystems. The fate of our planet depends on our ability to work together to restore and preserve the delicate balance of nature. Welcome back to Nature Walk. I'm your host, David. As we conclude our journey through the natural world today, we're going to venture into the heart of Africa, to a land renowned for its majestic wildlife and diverse ecosystems, Botswana. A recent report has shed light on a concerning trend that threatens the very fabric of elephant societies in this beautiful country. The reintroduction of elephant trophy hunting in 2009, after a 5-year moratorium, has led to a significant depletion of mature bulls. Those magnificent creatures with large tusks that are not only a symbol of strength and wisdom, but also play a pivotal role in the social structure of elephant herds. These older bulls, aged over 30 years, are the pillars of elephant society. They are instrumental in breeding, teaching younger bulls essential social behaviors, and retaining cultural memories that are vital for the survival of the herds. However, they are also the preferred targets of trophy hunters, who seek to claim their large tusks as trophies. The consequence is alarming. Simulation models run by researchers from Elephants Without Borders indicate that at the current hunting quota of about 0.3% of the elephant population per year, the number of mature bulls older than 30 years could be reduced by a quarter, and those over 50 years by half, compared to populations where no hunting occurs. But the impact doesn't stop there. Besides the direct loss from trophy hunting, these majestic creatures are also threatened by poaching, droughts, disease, and human-elephant conflicts. What's more concerning is that Botswana's Wildlife Department does not account for these additional factors when setting its hunting quota, potentially leading to an unsustainable offtake of bull elephants. Leon Kachelhofer, deputy chair of the Botswana Wildlife Producers Association, agrees that the current annual quota is too high and suggests reducing it to ensure sustainability. The effects of this hunting are not just numerical, they also induce behavioral changes in the elephants. Since the resumption of hunting in 2019, researchers have observed that elephants have become more alert and unpredictable, moving at night to avoid humans and shifting away from areas where they are being targeted. This creates what scientists term landscapes of fear, breaking up natural movement routes, weakening habitat connectivity, and increasing the likelihood of human-elephant conflict. As we reflect on this story, it's clear that the balance between conserving wildlife and utilizing it for economic benefits is a delicate one. Botswana's Minister of Wildlife and National Parks, Winter Malotsi, believes that both consumptive and non-consumptive wildlife utilization can coexist to grow the economy and empower rural communities. However, as we consider this approach, it's crucial that we prioritize the long-term sustainability of these incredible creatures and the ecosystems they inhabit. As we close today's episode of Nature Walk, let's remember the importance of responsible stewardship of our planet's precious wildlife. The story of Botswana's elephant serves as a poignant reminder of the impact of human actions on the natural world and the need for careful management and conservation practices to ensure the survival of these magnificent creatures. That's all for today's Nature Walk. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, keep exploring your natural world.